Hello, and welcome once again to Yoga for Kids and Their Adults. My name is Tony. I'm here at Me Time LLC, a massage and yoga studio here in Troy, Alabama. This program is sponsored in part by the Charles Henderson Child Health Center. They are a pediatric physician and dental office taking care of children from birth to age 19. They fund this through a grant that they received from the Children's Trust Fund, whose purpose is to prevent child abuse and neglect. Thank you very much for joining us again today. And I have a very special routine for you today. It's called Yoga for When You're Angry. Now, have you ever been angry? And you know how everything kind of gets knotted up inside and you get really tight. You just want to scream and cry and punch and kick and throw a fit and you just don't want to participate. Well, that makes you feel really icky, doesn't it? It makes you feel all kind of knotted up and you don't quite feel yourself. So we're going to practice being dandelions today, and that's because in Chinese medicine they use dandelion tea to help cleanse the liver, which when it's out of sync or when it's disrupted or in a dis-ease scenario, if it's not feeling well or out of balance, the dandelion tea can help cleanse it. Now, if your liver is out of balance, that can help amplify that anger energy. So we want to try to bring that down. So how do we do that? Well, when you are angry and all balled up and just not wanting to participate, what can get you to snap out of it? Not a lot. It takes a little working into. So that's what the Yoga for When You're Angry is going to be about. So we're going to start. You're not going to really need a mat today. We're just going to be standing up for the most part. We're going to be leaning and kind of doing some lunges. So you will need a little bit of space. So make sure that you're not going to run into your coffee table or the couch or the person next to you if they're practicing with you. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with really big movements, because when you're angry, you want a really big movement, don't you? So let's start with our biggest movement, star pose. Now to get into this pose, you get into a nice wide-legged stance. You bring your arms out level with the ground, palms facing the front. Your head is held up, and just think about the angry. Oh, I'm so angry. You can clench your fists, and you can breathe in and out. Really get that breath going. And after a while, your breathing starts to normalize, doesn't it? You don't quite have that anger energy pent up anymore. So let's start by breathing in slowly as we can. I know it's going to take some effort. Breathe in, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring it all the way down. See if you can reach the floor, and if you can't, just reach your legs. This big movement with big breaths to get out this big angry feeling. So again, breathe in, bring it all the way up and shake your fists. I'm angry. Can you do that? Can you say, I'm angry? Excuse me. You breathe in now, breathe out, and bring your hands down towards the floor. And shake out all that angry energy. Can you do that? Just shake your arms up and down, left and right, in and out. And then breathe in, bring your arms all the way up and say, I'm angry. Let me hear you. Excellent, I'm angry. And breathe out all the way down to the floor. And you can shake your arms out. Just let them hang and let them go loose. Let them go crazy. Get that angry energy out. You can shake it all the way down to the ground, because the ground is a good place to bring your energy down to. It helps kind of clean and clear that up. Now, bend your knees. Come all the way back up. Bring your arms up overhead. Do you feel as angry? Maybe not. Maybe. But we'll do this one more time. Kind of shake your arms up here now. Shake them out. Get all that extra energy out. And exhale and bring your arms down to the ground. And you shake them here too. Shake them all the way. Now, I hope that you managed to do all that without hitting anybody, including yourself. Go ahead and bend your knees forward. Bring your arms up, out, back to star. The biggest pose that we have. And now that you've gotten some of that energy out, Do you still feel so angry? Well, maybe not, maybe so. But let's continue to work on this, okay? So go ahead and inhale up, exhale, bring your feet together, and your arms down at your side. So what else can we do when we are angry? We need to get it out. Well, aside from the big movements up and down with our breath and shaking the anger out, let's see if we can refocus our mind. Sometimes trying to balance will help you refocus on what's happening here and not what's going on out there that's making you angry. Okay? So, to balance, let's start with the basic pose of tree pose. So we're going to shift our weight over to one side, bend one knee, bring it out, bring the foot over to the ankle of the opposite leg, bring your hands to the center. Now here's where the alteration comes in. If you're angry, make your fists. That way you can focus on just pushing together as tight as you can. And if you're angry, you might just wibble and wobble a whole lot. So you have to try to breathe in and breathe out, bring that energy down. You can push and wrestle back and forth here. And then when you feel like you've got it, bring your hands up and release that anger. Let them come all the way out and down until you can bring them back to prayer at heart center. And if you need to do it again, go ahead and bring your fists together and push this way and that. Let them wrestle back and forth. And when you feel like you're ready, and you release it up and let your hands float down to your sides until you can bring them back up to prayer at heart center. Go ahead and bring your knee forward, step down and out. Go ahead and kick your feet out. Get any more of that extra anger energy out of your body. And then stand back in mountain pose. You're going to shift your weight over to the opposite foot this time. All right, bend the opposite knee, bring it out. Place the flat of your foot against the ankle of your opposite leg. And bring your hands again to prayer at heart center. But if you're still feeling that angry, go ahead and make your fists and kind of push them into each other. Back and forth, the battle of the fists. And let them get that energy out and then release into the sky. And let your hands drift back down slowly as you balance until you can bring your hands back to center, at heart center in prayer. And if you still got some anger in you, go ahead and make those fists again and kind of push them back and forth. Let them wrestle it out. And then when you're ready, you release it back up to the sky and let your hands come down and float down to your sides. And then let them come back up to prayer at heart center. That's wonderful. Try to balance. Go ahead and bring your knee forward, step down and out. And go ahead and shake your knees out, shake your legs out. That's a lot of work when you're angry. You're pushing back and forth. It really is something to concentrate and focus through. Now at this point, you might have noticed some of the anger lift from your shoulders, and that's a good thing. Because when you're angry and you have no way to express it, you start to do things that get you in trouble. Can you think of something that you've done when you were angry that got you in trouble? You've learned not to do that again, but you still get angry, so what do? Here's your yoga for when you're angry. Now, we are going to try to do another balance pose called half moon pose. Okay, this is a bit challenging, so if you need a chair or a counter or a table to balance on, that's perfectly fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn one foot out and step out. You're going to realign your back foot so it's kind of half forward and half to the side, somewhere in the middle, about a 45-degree angle. You're going to keep your hips facing forward, your arms out. Okay, are you ready? We might start with triangle pose just to kind of get us ready for it. So right now, for a triangle pose, we're going to reach forward. And when we can't reach any further, we're going to bring that hand down to the ankle and bring that back hand up to the sky. This is not half moon pose, this is triangle pose. But this is going to get your body ready for it. Okay? One more breath here, and you're going to stand back up, level, palms facing down. Now, to get to the half moon pose, what you're going to do is you're going to bend this back leg. You're going to kick forward and start to balance. Woo. And if you're angry, you're not going to have an easy time here. You're going to hold on to the ground with your bottom hand. And your top hand goes back and up towards the sky with your back leg out and maybe level with the ground. And sometimes you might wobble and fall. And that's okay. This is you working through this extra energy, this extra anger energy, okay? So once you're there, you're going to take 3 breaths as best you can. 1, 2, 3. And bring your leg back down, arms level with the ground. Go ahead and turn your toes forward and bring your hands down to the ground. This is a good neutralizing position from that last one. This helps open up your hip and loosen it up. When you're ready, bend your knees and stack one backbone on top of the other until your back's standing again. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So turn your foot to the side, back foot somewhere between forward and to the side, about a 45-degree angle. And again, we're going to start with the triangle pose, and then we're going to go into half moon pose. Now, it's very difficult to stay angry when you're trying to balance. So it's good to try to work it out physically so you don't suffer mentally and emotionally. So bring your arms out straight, hips facing forward. Look out over your front hand here. And now you're going to lean over. Again, we're doing triangle first. And then when you can't lean any further, bring that foot back down to that hand down to your ankle, your back hand up to the sky, and look up to that top hand. This is triangle pose. And it's not quite as challenging as half moon, but it does get us ready for it. Because it gives us all the right positions and all the right joints to get into that half moon pose. Now one more breath, and then we're going to straighten ourselves back out, level our hands off. I'm going to back up a little bit here so you can see on the camera here. And when you're ready, you're going to bend that back leg and push yourself forward so you can balance. Now this can be challenging. Again, if you need a wall or a chair or something, you can absolutely try this next to a wall and get some better results. So you push forward, let that hand come down to the ground and look up to that top hand. And here you are, half moon pose. Gonna hang here for 3 breaths. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3. And when you're ready, drop that back leg, bring your arms back up, level, and then step away from the wall, bring your hands back down to the center. Now just breathe here if you need to, let your hands hang, or you can even cross your arms like a genie and just let them hang here. This is called ragdoll. Now when you feel like you've recovered, you bend your knees and stack one backbone on top of the other, one vertebrae upon the next one, until you're back up and standing. Now I'm going to share with you a breathing technique that can help you overcome this anger. I call it the Dandelion Technique. Now I'm sure that there's another name out there. Please don't comment too much down there. But if you imagine that you're holding a dandelion and it's got that white puffy seeds right on top, how do you get those seeds to spray out? Take a deep breath in and you blow. You watch the seeds fly like little snowflakes. Can you try that with me? Imagine you have your dandelion in your hand. Deep breath in and blow out the dandelion seeds. Kind of makes me smile every time I try it. Does it make you smile? I bet it does. Let's try one more balance pose, but we're going to use that dandelion breath, okay? So we're going to bring our feet together. Are you ready? Your feet are together. You're already trying to feel that balance there. So we're going to take a breath in, bring our arms up overhead, and lean to one side. Now, whichever side you're leaning to, that's the hand that's going to hold the dandelion. Are you ready? This is the crescent moon pose with the dandelion breath. Deep breath in, and then blow the dandelion seeds everywhere. And then bring your hand back up. Come back up to center. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So lean over into that crescent moon pose. Your hands go to one side, your hips go to the other, and you take that bottom hand, hold your dandelion. Are you holding your dandelion? Now, take a nice deep breath in and blow out. And then bring your hands back up together, your hands up to center, and let's go ahead and bring them down to the floor in front of us. Now again, if you can't quite reach the floor, that's fine. You can always reach your legs. And from here, let's try that dandelion breath. If you want to, hold 2 dandelions, okay? Deep breath in, and blow them out. And when you're ready, bend your knees and arch your back all the way up till you're standing up again. How are you feeling now? Has the anger started to subside? Feel a little bit more peaceful inside, a little bit more you? That's exactly what this is for. If you are in a situation and it makes you so angry, you want to lash out, try some of these. Try the dandelion breath. Try balancing. Try doing the half moon pose. And you will find that yoga can help you deal with those hard emotions, deal with those incredibly irritating emotions. And this works not just for when you're angry, but when you're irritated or scared, when you're upset about what might be happening. You can always come back to your dandelion breath. Let's practice that one more time. Hold 2 dandelions, 1 in each hand. Deep breath in, and blow them both up. There now. Don't you feel better? I know I do. And I'm so very glad that you came and joined me today. My name is Tony. I am here at Me Time LLC, a massage and yoga studio here in Troy, Alabama. This program is sponsored in part by the Charles Henderson Child Health Center. They are a pediatric physician and dental office taking care of children from birth to age 19. They fund this program through a grant that they received from the Children's Trust Fund, whose purpose is to prevent child abuse and neglect. So I hope that this yoga for when you're angry has helped you out, or at least given you a tool to use the next time you're angry and need to really break it back in. Or deal with it constructively, not destructively. So anytime you're upset, anytime your emotions are bigger than you think you can handle, come back to your balancing and your breathing and blow in the dandelions. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, please be kind to yourself and others. Namaste.